The markets are crashing, everybody is losing their minds, and I'm going to bring some sanity to this for you and demystify everything. So let's take a quick look at this right here and understand what's been going on. We've just been seeing this big drop. It's probably due to some FUD, you know, Binance getting hacked or something. It doesn't matter. We've seen this stuff all the time, but this is a really big drop, and this kind of drop only happens when people are scared. And the thing that I want to remind you about straight away, right at the beginning of this video, is I want to cast your mind back to what happened with FTX, okay? If we keep in mind what happened with FTX, that was quite a disastrous event for the crypto space, and we topped out right here. It took us down by a quarter of our price. We lost 27% within like 3 days. It was absolutely heinous. And we came back up 70 days later. And that's what I want to remind you guys about. When FTX happened, we all thought it was the be-all end-all for the space. We thought that it was not even that, but like that it would be what kills the space and sends us into a 3, 4, 5 year bear market. And we recovered it within 70 days. And that is something that you really have to sit and appreciate and understand, that when issues like this are isolated to the crypto space is full of emotional fucking girls that are like under 20, you know, in terms of how like stupid their mindset is, in terms of just being so volatile, like just whiplash back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And especially if it's isolated to crypto, in line with this like teenage girl that's just super emotional, they forget about problems too, you know, like they just like, you know, one day it's sad, one day it's happy. And the thing that we need to keep in mind is that this drop we're seeing for crypto is isolated to crypto right now. The S&P 500 continues to trade up and set new highs within this market right here, you know, within this little cycle that we're in right now. The dollar continues to drop. NASDAQ continues to climb. Guys, you can trade the S&P 500 as NASDAQ on bingx. You can also do Tesla, Apple, Amazon, all with leverage. It is absolutely amazing without taking a picture of yourself or your ID. So check it out with the link in the description down below. Over $5,000 in bonuses, and Bybit will also give you up to 30k. This is literally when you deposit to Bybit using my link down below and start trading, they will give you up to 30k free money that you can roll back into the market, and any profits are yours to withdraw. Check them both out. They're well worth checking out. Bybit has been my favorite platform for years as well. And you've got other bonuses that are huge here. OKX as well. You're going to be getting 60k in bonuses with the new campaign that they're running. So very, very big bonuses up for grabs there. But with traditional finance performing so well, what we need to keep in mind and how this relates to us is that, I mean, you know, that shows us that this issue is isolated to crypto, yeah? And what we need to ask ourselves is, whatever happened today, I haven't seen the news headline, and like I said, it doesn't matter, but is it worse than what happened to FTX? That's the question I want you to ask yourself. And if the answer is yes, then, I mean, you know, just look at the chart, and, you know, if it took FTX 70 days to recover, then maybe it takes us 80, you know, maybe it takes us 90 if something is really, really bad. And if it's not nearly as bad as FTX, and if it's just Binance got hacked or Atomic Wallet got hacked 2 days ago and that's why we're upset 2 days later, or whatever the case may be, then maybe it's going to be a lot less than 70 days. But what I know for sure is that if an issue like this is isolated to crypto, then it's just one of those things that we just need to give it some time. We need to, you know, let the market cool off. It doesn't take long. I mean, you know, we thought it would take years, and it took just over 2 months. You know what I mean? Like, it really doesn't take too long at all. We just need to let the market cool off, and we'll find reasons to be bullish again, and we'll start flying up. And I've got some good fucking news for you guys, because I've been telling you a lot about how the long and short ratio has been too high. You know, definitely indicating that the price needs to come down to correct this a little bit. We are going to see big adjustments here very soon, I think. I mean, this is the, you know, this is only going to update when the day is over, but we had 1.9 long positions for retail traders. That means nearly 2 long positions for every short for retail traders. Absolutely crazy. Top traders were up to 1.5. Even Bybit was majority long. So we're already starting to see this kind of shift to the other side a little bit more. We're starting to see these longs close off a little bit more. Bybit is majority short now, you know what I mean? So, and obviously Bybit is where you're going to find the best traders typically. So, you know, no surprises there that Binance Retail always getting it so wrong. Bybit almost always performing better than Binance. And it's just one of those things. I don't know how it works. Maybe when you just sign up to the platform, you just start trading better. I don't know. That's definitely what happened to me. Maybe there's something to it. Probably not, obviously. You know, but but that's what we're seeing right there with the 𝗬𝗙𝗏𝗧 dashboard, and we're probably going to see this come down. So, you know, the way I'm seeing it, guys, if you just kind of look at it from this perspective, we've zoomed out a little bit, we're on the daily time frame, I've drawn this parallel channel for you, and I added this one just now. You know, we are still clearly in a falling wedge, and we've just fallen down to the support, you know, and I've shown you this on the BLX chart as well. I've drawn it slightly differently with some red lines here, it's a little bit cleaner. We've just fallen down to the bottom of this range right here. You know, we've tested the resistance fairly recently, about 5-6 days ago. Now we're coming down to test support. We're still in a falling wedge, and this falling wedge still bleeds directly into a big green Ichimoku clouds. So you know, I mean, we've got, I mean, still the same factors. I just want to remind you guys that, you know, these constants are constants, and they have not changed because they're constants. You know, we have found ourselves in a beautiful uptrend. We've had one nice big pullback here, with another nice big pullback here now into a beautiful area of support. We have the daily Ichimoku cloud, we have the $25,000 area of support, we have the 200-week moving average just around where we are right now. I do not want to see us losing this, to be honest. You know, we are below it right now. We can wick below it, that's no problem for me. But what really the really good news that I have for you guys is that it is a Monday today, and we are producing all of this horrible price action today, right? So if you look at this on the weekly time frame, what we could actually end up producing is a candle that looks a little bit more like this, where we actually test the downside massively, but we recover up, and that shows us that the market tried to come down, it got rejected, it slingshot back up. And guys, the last time we had one of these slingshots back up, this ended up happening. This was one of the biggest candles we've seen in Bitcoin for a long time, possibly you know, depending on when you've been trading, when you started trading Bitcoin, you know, this is the biggest candle you've ever seen in 1 week for Bitcoin, you know, to the upside. So, you know, we are looking at some absolutely huge strength here in the market after this kind of slingshot event. And if we're looking at something similar right now, it is a beautiful setup. We've already corrected for quite some time. This is a really nice final push. One of the things that we know Bitcoin loves to do with final pushes. I just want to remind you guys about this going all the way back to 2017, actually, because I've got a really good example in mind for you guys here, you know, of something that actually looks quite like this is this correction right here. See, this is actually the first and last time that I ever panic sold my Bitcoin. We topped out here at $3,000, and we entered this symmetrical triangle pattern here, and it really looked like after this we would pump up, but we had one last instance of sell-offs here. And by the way, this lasted some time, right? Like this sell-off really gave us some time to like confront the reality that Bitcoin might be dead and the whole market might be over. And I know that sounds ridiculous now, but we really thought those things back then, because it just seemed like the whole market crashed, and we didn't have the perspective that we were going to go up to $4,000 or $5,000 afterwards. All we saw was a top and a consolidation and then a further drop, which is it's an extremely strong indication that the market is going to keep on trending down. But look, it just turned out to be a fake out, and the market continued to rally on higher, right? So this kind of thing is well within Bitcoin's grasp to produce. It's something that Bitcoin does regularly, and also, I mean, you know, down to these beautiful moving averages, the 200-day moving average here coming in clutch for Bitcoin, the 200-week moving average already coming in clutch for Bitcoin earlier. You know, there's a lot of really good support around these ranges. There's a lot that still goes in Bitcoin's favor. It's the fact that traditional finance is still strong. This is actually probably my biggest point that I can give you guys. The dollar is coming down after hitting a massive area of support, exactly as we expected on this YouTube channel, guys. If you were watching me, you're going to know all about that. Do me a favor and smash up the like, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, tick the bell, because all this content is stuff that we've been going through just on the ball, you know, just to you know, cover all of this stuff with you, and make sure that you're covering all the angles that you want. Make sure that you have the right perspective on these markets, that you've got a sober perspective on these markets. And obviously a huge part of that is just going to be looking at traditional finance, right? And the big point that I want to make to you guys about traditional finance is simply, I'm not sure if I've actually said this already, because I've recorded this video twice now. Didn't hit record the first time, super annoying, you know, but what we do have is quite simply a situation where you know, in traditional finance, if people are making money, they're going to be interested in buying Bitcoin, right? But we're not interested in buying Bitcoin or crypto because the blockchain is good or because it's going to stop government censorship or anything like that. People are only getting into crypto because they want to make money, and if traditional finance is making money, then that's going to make a nice environment for crypto. And one of the big things that I want to prove to you about this right now, just about like crypto being very like transient in terms of its emotional state, like crypto, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, just left and right every single day, you know, every week, every month, it's just, you know, very irrational. But one thing that I want to prove to you is that with this yellow line right here, when traditional finance is strong, it kind of doesn't matter what crypto does, especially recently. Crypto will eventually kind of pick itself back up, right? If crypto has got its own isolated issues like FTX, that's fine. But look at when the S&P 500 started to rally, right? S&P 500 started to rally back here in October. Bitcoin Bitcoin late November, S&P 500 early October, mid-October, Bitcoin late November. This is really, really important. The S&P 500 had a whole month head start on the crypto in terms of rallying up. And by the way, S&P 500 went up by about 20%, Bitcoin by about 60%. I'm sorry, 100% from its high. You know, so Bitcoin performed incredibly well, you know, compared to the S&P 500. We're still doing really, really well, which is just nice to see. But, you know, if we take a look at what we're actually seeing here, the S&P 500 gives us an idea of, is the traditional finance space healthy? And the answer was yes throughout this entire time frame. But crypto started off its rally with the S&P 500, which is why this rally looks so promising. That's why I got this wrong as well, is because it just every sign that we wanted was there, but you just can't predict an exchange going down. You know, that's just something that is going to happen. It's going to happen whenever it happens, you know, and we can't time that. But you know, traditional finance was already looking good, and it stayed looking good throughout the entire time. This is, by the way, a really strong reason for why crypto is so small, because crypto gets absolutely fucked and traditional finance doesn't even flinch. You know, like crypto is still really small. It has no effect on the world whatsoever. You know, like in terms of like any real meaningful scale, to be honest, like in terms of how the S&P 500 affects the world. And this whole time S&P 500 continued to rally up. So, you know, crypto is able to just kind of dust itself off. 70 days later, come back, and it's just off to the race. So if we are looking at a position where there's some flash FUD that's scaring people out of the crypto market, and we know that traditional finance is an incredibly strong position, it's probably gonna, I mean, by the looks of it, there's no reason for it to stop. We are at resistance, so obviously you do expect resistance at resistance, and that makes sense, but we are in an uptrend. We've broken out of resistance. We've back tested it. We've done everything we need to do to show us that, to be honest, we're ready to set new all-time highs for the S&P 500. So to me, you know, anything that happens in crypto, especially if it just happens in crypto, is temporary, because everything has been temporary so far. We've had Mt. Gox getting hacked. We've had Binance getting hacked. We've had FTX going down. We've had ICOs rug pulling. We've had meme coins rug pulling. We've had every single instance of shit you can imagine, because this is an incredibly free market. Right? This is actually the thing that we need to keep in mind, is that crypto is a really free market. It has barely any regulation, even with all the government intervention. Now, you just can't regulate crypto. It's just too hard to do so. So it's very Wild West, and that makes it very organic. And that means that any bad, like that means that we're, you know, typically in an extreme place like this. Imagine like the United States, in extreme countries, in extreme places, you just have like extreme good and extreme bad. And that's what we're seeing in crypto too. We're seeing extreme upside and just extremely disgusting degeneracy across the space as well. We've got, you know, both ends of the spectrum, because it's such raw, unfiltered price action that we have in the market. But one of the things that means is that it's so fucking predictable. And when we have instances like this that drop directly down to support, we're still in a good place. And that's what I want you guys to be keeping in mind right now as you navigate through this market. Guys, now is the best time to be getting your bonuses. This is an incorrect number, by the way. The number is now more than $130,000 in bonuses using my links in the description down below. Now is the best time to be getting these kind of bonuses, loading yourselves up to take advantage of the volatility. Because guys, if you're tuned into a channel like this, you already know I'm already slaying the markets. I'm going to keep slaying these markets. I'm just looking for the right position to be taken so I can keep my capital safe as well. But if you've got these bonuses locked and loaded, ready to go, ready to deploy into the market, or, you know, whatever the bonuses are, you are going to be very, very thankful when the time actually comes that you're able to use it, which in this case could be within the next few days or even hours, to be honest, because the market is so volatile. So I'm going to be keeping you guys up to date with what I'm seeing on this YouTube channel. You already know the deal. You just have to subscribe to stay tuned to that, and VIPs will continue to see exactly what I'm trading in real time, all the positions I'm considering, why I'm considering them, why I'm committing to them, why I'm not, so on and so forth, all the reasoning and the exact details of what I'm doing. 25k support, you know, like I said, I'm seeing this stretch all the way down to 23.7. That hasn't changed either. None of my analysis has changed. It's all the same. We're still in the same pattern too. You know, we're just continuing it downwards, and I think now this is just going to be the point where people really snap and just kind of, you know, forget that we're still in pretty bullish places like this. So I'm definitely liking this. You know, I think that we're not looking at a particularly bad situation whatsoever. I don't know what's wrong with my cursor right now, to be honest. You know, but yeah, you know, I am okay with what we're seeing right now, and I'm going to continue to keep my eyes peeled for beautiful opportunities across these markets, right? With altcoins to potentially take some short positions. Obviously, meme coins are all just exploding, so you know, they're ripe for shortening, for being shorted as well. So I will be interested in checking that out, and of course, I'll be keeping you guys up to date on that. Resistance now sits at 26.7, so that is something that we need to keep in mind. Resistance at 26.7, I think, is going to be problematic for Bitcoin. Could definitely mean pardon me, could definitely mean that we are looking at you know, some troubles on the way back up. You know, and it really depends on if it, you know, like the problem that we can encounter is that, you know, now we're going to start having resistance with other, you know, like the 𝗢𝗙𝗥𝗙𝗙𝗜 is going to develop now we're going to have, you know, a bad EMA ribbon, you know, these kind of things. These are what I'll talk to you about in the next video a little bit more, but you know, this is the concern now. You know, but if we do form a quick correction, especially if we move up quickly within today, you know, by tomorrow kind of thing, then I think that we're going to have enough strength to, you know, kind of break these resistance levels. But you know, if we actually just kind of hang around here and, you know, take a few days and then come back up, I think we're going to have a problem then. You know, then we're probably going to face the resistance with some challenge. But I mean, right now I'm pretty optimistic. I'm not, I mean, this is just a continuation, so I'm happy with what I'm seeing, you know, and especially if this evens out some of the things that have been holding us back. I think the number one reason we haven't been able to pump yet is because people have been too fucking bullish. If that changes now, we'll see, you know, when this updates, you know, I don't think it's going to update right now, but when it does update, you know, I'll come back to you guys and I'll let you know what I'm seeing and if anything is different. We can take a really quick look at this on Binance's own website, but I don't like to use this data. I prefer to look at it on my own dashboard, but let's just take a look at this anyway. Long and short ratio on the 5 minute. Wow, we're 72% long. So yeah, we saw this with the previous drops. We're just gonna have to wait to see this even out because that was only in the last 5 minutes. So you know, it's not a really good gauge. Maybe we can look at like the last hour and see if this changes. Yeah, still massively long, 70% long. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. I'll let you guys know in the next videos, but I need to run now. If you have enjoyed this one, do me a favor and smash up those likes, double check that you subscribe, tick the bell and all that good stuff. And of course, these bonuses are up for grabs if you are interested. They are all available to you with the links in the description down below. By the way, actually all of these exchanges do not require KYC to start with, other than Bybit. So and Bybit is my favorite one, so it's a bit of a shame, but that's just how it is. So definitely do check them out if you are interested in those beautiful offers. Like I said, OKX, this information is wrong. OKX will actually give you up to 60k in bonuses right now with their brand new campaign. So huge stuff there, well worth checking out. Just so much available to you, kind of crazy, but there you go, it's all down there. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.